Alright, welcome everybody. I'm here today to talk to you guys about how to make that home remedy I've been talking about so much in my health and phys ed class. We got all the ingredients here today. Everything here is all natural and organic, and this is a great way to be able to fight a flu or a cold, and it's a great alternative, than using any of those medications that you buy in the store. And everything here is organic, so you know that you're getting the real stuff and nothing that's genetically modified. Everything is fresh and pure. And I'll be going step by step through each ingredient and what it does for you and how it assists in getting rid of that cold or flu that's bringing you down. The first one is we actually have the whole cinnamon sticks. We have turmeric powder, we have clove powder, ground cloves, and we actually have a little bit of that cayenne pepper. Everything here and everything that we're talking about is organic, so I don't have to keep saying organic. Right here we have fresh ginger that I cut up, and this is going to come into play later on. I'll show you in a second. We have a whole lemon, which we're going to be taking the juice out of. And my favorite, which I've been talking a lot about, is my Vermont honey. I actually met a guy up in Vermont at a farmer's market in Burlington, and I bought some of his honey. It was amazing. So I actually tracked him down and ordered it, and now I get a little bit of that Vermont honey in my life. Alright, so the first step here is we're going to cut this lemon in half so we get the juice of a half a lemon. Alright, and we're going to cut it in half, and we're actually going to set this back off to the side. Now, I've already kind of diced up some of this fresh ginger. Now, I just want to cut it to be a little bit smaller, because when you cut a little bit thinner slices, you really get all the flavor that comes out of the ginger. Now, with the leftover outer layer of the ginger, I do something which I think is a great idea for anyone to do, is I compost them. So this is a nifty little tabletop compost bin that I collect to bring it to my outside composter. You just put it in here, and it's got a great filter so it doesn't stink up the rest of the kitchen. Put it on top, and it actually reduces 30% of your kitchen waste. So I'm going to take my ginger, I'm going to put it back on my plate here. I already filled up 4 cups of water. Now I'm going to take 2 cinnamon sticks out of here. I actually add, the recipe only calls for 1 cinnamon stick, but I like cinnamon, the taste of cinnamon, so I'm going to add 2 here today. Now, the turmeric, this is really important that you know your measurements. The turmeric is a half a tablespoon per 4 cups when you're making it for 4 cups of water. So we're going to take that here, we're going to pour it into our bowl. Very nice. All right. And then we are going to take a half a teaspoon of the ground cloves, and we're going to add that to our little bowl right here as well. A little bit of a heaping teaspoon. That's okay. Now, the cayenne pepper, some people are a little sensitive to spice, so I say use a pinch and add a little bit more as you go on, but since I like spicy food, I'm going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon here, right? And we'll put that right in there. Good. All right, now the next step is we are going to put the water in a standard cooking pot, and we're going to add all of our ingredients, and we're going to bring that to a boil and then get ready to serve. So let's move to the stove. All right, so we're going to turn our burner on right up front, get it to a nice high flame. So we're going to add our 4 cups of water in here. All right, all set with that. Now, it doesn't really matter on how you add all these different spices, so you can really just chuck them in. That's good there. Make sure we get it all in. All right, very nice. We're going to come over here. We're going to grab our fresh cut ginger and our lemons, our whole lemons, and we're going to simply just toss these pieces of ginger in. Very nice. Now we're going to take our lemon and we're going to squeeze the juice out of the lemon. Now, a lot of people like to put a paper towel over, but I'm just going to squeeze the juice. And it's alright if any pits get in there. That's why we work out, right? All right, good. Now we're gonna let that come to a boil, all right? And once it comes to a boil, we're going to bring it to a simmer and let that sit for about 10 minutes. Oh, that smells good. All right, so we're just gonna stir this up a little bit, all right? We're gonna lower the flame down to a simmer. And again, even just this aroma is really great for clearing up your sinuses. So we're gonna keep that covered for 10 minutes. We'll set our timer and we'll check on it every few minutes and give it a stir, and then we'll be ready to serve. All right, so we're gonna set this down here and we're gonna get our cups ready with some honey. Now, just to show you how good this smells. Woo! It smells absolutely delicious. Now, we have two different types of honey here. We have the creamy honey and we actually have the honey inside the comb. Believe it or not, raw honey is only raw when it's still inside the comb, unlike popular belief. So we're going to take about a very generous tablespoon here, and we're going to put that right into the bottom of our cup. All right, and it really is delicious. Now we're going to take our honeycomb and we are going to get about a tablespoon as well. Now the beeswax should melt when it's inside, once it's mixed with all the different spices. All right, so we always want to let this set for a minute just to kind of let it cool before we serve it. Now, all the flavors and everything really come out, especially when you stir it. All right, so to serve in the cup, we're going to use a strainer just in case any of the pieces of ginger or cinnamon sticks, or if any of the spices didn't mix well through. And we're going to place that right over the cup. Now, we're going to take a nice little ladle here, and we're going to pour right on through. So you can see that a little bit is getting caught through the strainer. And we'll take one more. All right, so that one's good right here. And we're gonna make two, so we get a little bit of that honeycomb as well. Turn this. All right. You can see that cinnamon stick split. And we'll take one more. All right, now we're just gonna let that sit for maybe a minute or two, let that cool off. You're gonna wanna mix in the honey to make sure it mixes through the entire drink, and then enjoy. Please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you do have any questions, please feel free to enter them in the comments section below, and I'll be sure to answer them for you. And if you have any questions specifically about this honey, I'll be more than glad to answer them. All right.